PNC Bank. Baseball is back. We're in South Florida. The Pirates and the Marlins open up the 2024 Major League Baseball season. Last time the Pirates opened up a campaign in Miami 28 years ago. That was 1996. John Wehner, now a broadcaster, was enjoying his second opening series in a Major League uniform. Greg Brown, John Wehner, and Hannah Mears will be along. And John, it doesn't matter, player, broadcaster, fan, opening day never gets old.
Best day of the year. Opening day is great. You love it. Obviously, as a broadcaster, as a Pittsburgh Pirates fan, especially as a player, you think about the young guys like Henry Davis, Jared Triolo, and even the veterans like Andrew McCutchen. They're excited to be out here opening day.
You know, Derek Shelton, now in his 5th year as manager of the Pittsburgh Pirates, he knows this is his most talented team. Last year's club went 76-86, but now he has some horses, and he's not going to say that they're going to win a division or even go to the postseason, but that is their aim.
No question. The lineup is much improved. You got veterans with a couple of young guys. You added a couple veterans to the starting rotation to go with your all-star Mitch Keller. A young guy in Jared Jones is exciting rookie, just 22 years old. Also his first opening day, obviously. And you got a strong bullpen as well. This is a solid team.
So O'Neill Cruz is going to be in the starting lineup along with P. Brian Hayes, Brian Reynolds, and the rest. But we're going to focus in on that man on the mound, making his second consecutive opening day start today, Mitch Keller, as we continue from Miami on opening day 2024. Presented by PNC Bank, brilliantly boring since 1865. By Cohen Markets, where you save on fuel, food, and more every day. And by your Western PA Chevy dealers, Chevrolet. Together, let's drive. And it's great to be together once again for Major League Baseball and another Pittsburgh Pirates season. Indoors, yeah. Not really much of a threat of rain, but they, I guess, anytime there is even a 1% chance, they keep it closed. Mitch Keller, he gives you a chance to win just about every night these days, John.
He sure does. His second consecutive opening day start, and boy, what a year he had last year. You know, 13 wins, 210 strikeouts. Obviously, he made the All-Star team as well. I'm sure being an opening day starter, it could be overwhelming. I mean, even the second time, I'm sure pretty nerve-wracking for Mitch, but he's certainly deserving.
He has gotten up for this one. We're up for this one, and we're ready to play ball in Miami.
just survive. Oh, you will see me thrive. Can write my story. I'm beyond the archetype. I won't just conform. No matter how you shake my core. 'Cause my roots, they run deep. Oh, you have so little faith. Don't doubt it, don't doubt it. Victory is in my veins. I know it, and I will not negotiate. I'll fight it, I will transform. When the fire's at my feet again, and the vultures all start circling, they're whispering, you're out of time, but still I rise. This is no mistake, no accident. When you think the final nail is in, think again. Don't be surprised, I will still rise. Don't doubt it, you know it, still rise. Just fight it, don't be surprised, I will still rise.
Sounds of Katy Perry, and great work by Ryan Wood back at our studios, putting that piece together and getting you fired up for another opening day, the 138th opening day for the Pirates in the National League. And they're taking on a team in the Marlins that clinched a postseason berth at PNC Park a few months ago. And the Pirates will be looking to return to postseason play for the first time since 2015. David Bednar will certainly have a say, but it always starts with starting pitching. Every team can say that, and the Pirates know that full well, and Mitch Keller will have the honor in the bottom of the first inning, but it's Jesus Luzardo on the mound for the Marlins against this Pirates lineup. It's Connor Joe leading off, followed by Brian Reynolds and Key Brian Hayes, with Andrew McCutcheon, the designated hitter. Henry Davis bats fifth. O'Neill Cruz is the shortstop. Jared Triolo at second. Then it's Rowdy Tellez and Michael A. Taylor. See Derek Shelton tried to limit the left-handed hitters, so no Jack Sawinski in that lineup against a tough lefty in Jesus Luzardo.
Yeah, very tough lefty. Just a 10-10 record, but the ERA 3.58. A ton of strikeouts, 208 last year. He's a hard thrower. He has a fastball in the upper 90s from that left side. A good hard slider to go with a changeup. One of four lefties the Pirates are going to face opening series.
Take a look at the Marlins defense presented by Phil DeLacente and Associates. And in the outfield, left to right, Nick Gordon, Chase Chisholm Jr., Jesus Sanchez, the infield, Jake Berger, Tim Anderson, the longtime White Sox shortstop, who signed as a free agent. Batting champion last year, Luis Arraez at second, former Pirate Josh Bell at first, and Nick Cortez is the catcher for Jesus Luzardo. There is Josh Bell, the former Pirate, was dealt last summer from Cleveland to Miami, and Tim Anderson, the big addition not too long ago this offseason. Cortez will do a lot of the catching. Jacob Stallings, the former Pirate, signed as a free agent and is now with the Colorado Rockies. Here is Connor Joe leading things off to get the 2024 season underway, and it begins with ball one, 98 miles an hour. Home plate umpire Chris Guccione. Second year for Connor Joe as a Pirate. A pop up to right. Jesus Sanchez. One man comes to the plate and one out recorded.
you want to be able to gear up and get to that velocity too from Luzardo. Again, 97, 98, not an easy task, but you have a better chance, I believe, against that than the slider at the change.
And the first question from Brian Reynolds, 2024. Pitch appeared low. And not close. 1 ball, 1 strike. Brian Reynolds last year, 24 homers, drove in 84 runs. Now 29 years old.
And that's what ends up happening. You're up there, you're geared up for that high velocity, and then he pulls the string on you. Actually, that's a backdoor slider. Thought maybe for a moment it was a changeup. And then back to the velocity. And you're up there with 2 strikes trying to protect. It gets in there deep, but Brian Reynolds does a good job of wasting that high fastball.
10-10 last year, 3.58 ERA for Luzardo. He struck out 208 batters in 179 innings last year. And there's his first of the 2024 season.
And again, hard to tell if that's a changeup or a slider. The changeup he throws pretty firm, higher 80s. Not a lot of break to that if that was the backdoor slider again.
And now Ke'Bryan Hayes, Pirates third baseman, coming off that Gold Glove season. Had a tremendous last couple of months of 2023. Had a very strong spring here in Florida. Three balls, no strikes, 55 walks, 208 strikeouts for Luzardo. Really put quite a season together. Born to Venezuelan parents in Lima, Peru. He's 26, originally drafted by the Nationals. Fourth opening day for Ke'Bryan Hayes. Now Luzardo tries to come all the way back. 3-0 to 3-2. Andrew McCutchen would be next. And Hayes just keeps on hitting. Into left, thinking 2, and he'll make it easily. A double for Hayes.
Again, the velocity throws them all fastballs until he gets to 3-2, and then he takes something off. This, I do believe, was the changeup. He wanted it away. It came into the inner half of the plate, and Hayes a little bit off the end of the bat, but that approach of his, that's what makes him so good. He hits velocity the other way, and he's still in a position to hit the off-speed pitch.
Andrew McCutchen, who missed the last few weeks of 2023 with that Achilles injury. We're sitting on 299 career homers. Playing in his career 1459th Pirates game, which is 11th all time in Pirates history, and Luzardo out in front 1-2.
That's a tough pitch to cover. You know, even that great bat speed that Andrew McCutchen has, that's hard to get to. Right on the inside corner, belt high.
Did not go. Brian Knight down there at first, Gabe Morales at second, Ryan Addington at third, the other umpires.
And he gets you thinking about that velocity in there. Then he comes in with the slider, and ooh, Andrew may have gotten away with him.
And very close at second on the pickoff try as Ortiz snuck in there.
perfect timing between Luzardo and Ortiz. Just getting in there ahead of the tag.
Still didn't go. 3-2 on Andrew McCutchen. .378 on base percentage last year, and drew his share of walks to help that on base percentage, and he draws another.
That's what makes him so tough. You know, he rarely chases. He does still have that great bat speed. Still has the great power. It's a good at bat.
761 career Pirate walks. That's 7th all time in Pirates history. And now Henry Davis, who played in 62 major league games last year as a right fielder. Just 2 innings as a catcher. 213. His first stint in the big leagues last year with 7 homers. #1 overall pick out of the University of Louisville 3 years ago. And Luzardo gets out of it. A soft liner to third. The Marlins come to bat. Now to the bottom of the first inning, the Marlins come to bat. For the Miami Marlins, Luis Ortiz will be followed by Josh Bell and Brian De La Cruz, with Jazz Chisholm Jr. hitting cleanup. Jake Berger, Jesus Sanchez, and Tim Anderson. Tim Anderson, one-time batting champion. Nick Gordon, Nick Fortes, starting 9 against Mitch Keller, and here is last year's batting champ, Luis Ortiz. Strike 1.
Mitch Keller, as Henry Davis gets everything back in order. Pennsylvania State Lottery numbers for Mitch Keller: 32 starts, 13-9. Opponents hitting .249. Again, the 210 punch outs, 55 walks. Almost got to the 200 inning mark.
And 1 up, 1 down for Mitch Keller.
Quick work of the best hitter in baseball last year. That was a cut fastball at 91, top of the zone, a very late swing.
Josh Bell now. Bell takes the strike. See what he did last year. Pretty good numbers when he joined the Marlins, and he lines this into left. 1 out single. Live-in furniture and mattress defense for the Pirates. You just saw Reynolds, Michael A. Taylor, Gold Glover in center, Connor Joe in right. Key Brian Hayes, O'Neill Cruz on the left side, Jared Triolo, Rowdy Tellez on the right side, and Henry Davis catches Keller. O'Neill Cruz lasted just 9 games last year and then broke that ankle and looked good in spring, hoping for a strong, full, healthy season, and a bouncer to that Gold Glover. There's 1 and there's 2. How about that?
That's a beautiful
How
thing right
sweet
there.
it is.
It sure is.
Around the horn, 0-0. First got that double play ball, the middleman on that turn, Jared Triolo, and Hannah has more on Tree. As O'Neill Cruz will step in. Cruz, again, mentioned 9 games last year before getting hurt. That was, again, great work from Keller. Cruz, Triolo, and Tellez, 6, 7, 8 in the batting order. Opening day starter at short last year and was the leadoff hitter opening day, and figures to still lead off a bunch this year, probably against righties.
Yeah, the one thing about the start for the Pirates on the road against so many lefties, scheduled to face 5 consecutive lefties.
Got to be a first.
Man,
5 in a row to start a season.
And so, you know, certainly the Pirates with some big power guys from that left side, with Cruz, Rowdy Tellez, Jack Sawinski not in the lineup today. I'm sure he's going to have to be in there at some point this series. Yeah, I think it's a little unfortunate, you know, for a team that has so much power. But we talked about it all spring, especially from that left side. You just don't get as good a look from the left side, left-handed hitters against the left-handed pitching.
One thing about it, I will say, John, just came to mind. You and I talked about it. A number of games we did in spring training. How many lefties the Pirates did see?
A bunch, yeah. This spring, it seemed like,
surprisingly.
yes.
Cruz just kind of fighting that off. Still gets down that line, and now we go down to Hannah on Jared Triolo.
There are 2 very proud grandparents in the stands today named Karen and Mike Triolo. There's a shot of them right there as Jared comes up to the mound. They're here to see their grandson in his first Major League opening day game. Karen told me with tears in her eyes that she is so proud and excited for her grandson. And Jared's grandfather, Mike, told me he feels like he is walking on water right now, having watched Jared play ball since he was 2 years old. But they knew he was destined for this moment as he has been able to throw a ball, they said, since he's been able to walk. Greg, how special is that they get to witness this moment?
Very neat. They live in Florida, the half swing there by Triola, and as Hannah told you on the pregame, Jared's folks will be in Pittsburgh for the home opener 1 week from tomorrow at PNC Park against the Orioles. But just an all-around special day for Jared Triolo. Makes his first Major League opening day roster and start.
I'm sure it was pretty cool for him right out of the gate, getting an opportunity defensively to turn a double play over there at second base, a relatively new position.
Maybe that helps with the nerves a little bit. Get the butterflies out of the way. Pre-game, he talked about it. He was anxious, happy, nervous, and all those feelings, and then his grandparents react.
So great. We've talked so much about his defense. Obviously, been mentioned he's been a Gold Glover at third base in the minors, now over there at second. But wherever he's played as a big leaguer, he's been excellent.
Second K for Luzardo, 2 outs in the second. Take a look at our PNC Bank details, which show us the 7 Pirates making their first opening day roster. We saw Triolo, Henry Davis, Jared Jones, Luis Ortiz, Ryder Ryan, Hunter Stratton, and Alika Williams. 7 of them. Rowdy Tellez has had a few opening day starts and being on the big league roster, but his first as a Pirate. Drafted by the Toronto Blue Jays 11 years ago.
That's a tough pitch right there. You can't. You don't want to give this lefty that pitch. It's tough enough to face this guy as a right-handed batter or a lefty, but you start giving him pitches that are perhaps down and away.
Oh, and then the home plate umpire says he offered. Nothing went Triolo's way there, or rather Tellez's way there. Nothing. T-Mobile customers get free MLB.TV. Redeem now through April 1st at T-Mobile.com/MLB. There's Jazz Chisholm Jr. facing Keller. According to Ryan Addison, did not go. 250 hitter last year, 19 home runs. It's Keller. Gave up 1-out single to Josh Bell in the first, then got the double play within Furniture and Mattress strike zone.
He's relying so much on that cut fastball. Throws 3 different fastballs. He'll throw a 4-seamer. He'll cut that fastball like you saw there on that 2-0 pitch, and he'll also throw a 2-seam fastball.
She's one of those guys you prefer to keep off the bases. He's got wheels.
Yeah, he's pretty much the whole package. You know, those 19 home runs were in under 400 at bats, and so yeah, he's got center field with power and speed. There's that 3-1 cutter right down the middle.
Out of play.
I don't know if it's the late movement or what about that Mitch Keller cut fastball, but we've seen it often enough to where he doesn't have to be perfect with the location. Saw it with the rise leading off the game. Came up empty, was late. Chisholm couldn't catch up on a 3-1 pitch. This pitch at 92 and off the plate. Can't do anything with that but foul it off.
Fouls off another. He didn't walk much, Chisholm. 26 walks, struck out 118 times last year. A couple of stints on the injured list. Turf toe had him out for a good month and a half. And he draws the walk. Also missed some time with left oblique strain. 22 steals in 25 attempts last year. Opening weekend at PNC Park begins a week from tomorrow. Orioles in town to start things off at PNC Park all weekend long. Go to Pirates.com for tickets. Starting Friday, April the 5th through Sunday, April the 7th. And the Tigers come in for a brief 2-game series. First 5 games of 2024 at PNC Park. Very important first pitch strike to Jake Berger.
Big power here too. 34 homers. 80 RBIs last year.
Came over August 1st. They deal with the White Sox. Out in front 0-2 on Jake Berger. .210 strikeouts last year for Keller, a new record for Pirate right-hander. Ball not close after Berger swung and missed at that slow slider, that sweeper.
Yeah, why not? You got pitches to waste. See if we'll chase one even further out.
Bouncing ball up the middle. And Chisholm will race to third. Taylor going to throw that way. Not going to get him. It's first and third. Ground ball up the middle.
Yeah, I think he didn't want to leave this pitch here. He left that up middle, and that's just too good a pitch to hit. With 2 strikes, you can tell Mitch not happy with the location there. Went back to that slider. Didn't mean to throw it for a strike, and here's that speed, Greg, you were talking about. That ball in front of him. He figured it was worth the risk with nobody out.
And the batter, Jesus Sanchez. First and third. And nobody out. A chance. Slow bounding ball. They will not get anybody as Triolo didn't have control of it. It's 1-0 Miami. There'll be an E on the second baseman Triolo trying to hurry. RBI for Sanchez.
Yeah, maybe trying to be too quick. A lot of times you see this at second base and they're saying that it was the transfer is why the ball came out. But they're saying he never even had control of this. And yeah, you see there. You'll see it here on the AHN Supermo. Oh, I don't know. Right there, it looked like it was in and out of the glove, which is, yeah, that's in the webbing.
Yeah.
You normally get that out call.
Now it's Tim Anderson, still nobody out, 1-0 Marlins.
And you know, he takes so much pride in his defense. But again, it's still a relatively new position, just trying to be a little too quick.
The other way to right, that could be trouble, and it is. Fair ball. Anderson doubles. 2-0 Marlins, still nobody out. Tim Anderson's first at bat as a Marlin, as an RBI double.
Two-seamer in, he just kind of inside outs it. Hits it out there pretty deep. Connor Joe gets it in quickly, so only the 1 run scores. But Tim Anderson, former batting champ, he can go line to line.
Yeah, probably his worst year in the majors last season. They hit just .245. The batting champ in 2019, and Oscar Marin, his first visit. Pirates pitching coach. A walk started it all. And then the ground single up the middle by Berger. Ball dropped by Triolo for an error, not able to get an out. Tim Anderson a double. Now Nick Gordon. Fisted that one.
We had a play there at second, but unfortunately, where Jared Triolo positioned, just couldn't get to the bag. But this little fister off the bat of T. Brian Hayes, right away, he's thinking too. And, you know, see how far Triolo is away from the bag at second base. You know, if he's closer to the bag, let's say it's a right-handed batter, he'd be closer to the bag, and then you probably get the double play.
Now the Pirates infield will shorten up. Nick Fortes, the 9-man at the plate. Ball 1. Fortes hit just .204 last year. Lobs this ball up. 2 fisters.
We've seen so many great plays by Key Brian Hayes over the years. No.
2 easiest plays he'll ever make.
You'll never see 2 easier pop-ups. 2 just fisters, and Keller was throwing that cutter a bunch. Now he's going to the 2-seamer and getting way in on the hands.
Obviously, this would be just a gigantic victory, really, for Keller and the Pirates if they could get a rise. Fly ball to center, and Taylor, and Keller's going to do it. That's superb.
Yep.
By Mitch Keller. 2-0. app will complete your next visit to PNC Park. Buy and manage game tickets, redeem offers, access exclusive content, and much more. Download the MLB Ballpark app today. Here's Michael A. Taylor, his first Pirate at bat. Gold Glove center fielder. Signed as a free agent. 220 last year with 21 home runs with the Twins. Ninth in the order, Connor Joe on deck against Jesus Luzardo.
Now you know the defense is going to be there every day. And again, the big power numbers from last year. Yep, that pitch a little bit off the plate in. Yeah, he's not happy about it. Calls timeout. He will bring you good defense, and he'll knock it out of the park now and again.
97 up, fouled it back. Taylor, 7 years with the Nationals. They drafted him in the 6th round. 2009, a Fort Lauderdale native. He's 33. Made his major league debut 10 years ago. Luzardo has struck out 3 straight Pirates, 4 of the first 9 batters.
It's funny, you could see after the foul ball from Taylor, as that's that good changeup staying away. But Taylor's still worried, thinking about that fastball in. He turned and looked at the catcher and said, was that on the plate? And the catcher shook his head no. And then they both shared a little smile. But as a hitter, if you're going to get that call to strike that's off the plate in, and he's throwing that hard, you got to be thinking about it. And that's what makes the changeup so lethal.
One out, Connor Joe stepping in, and home plate umpire Chris Guccione warned Luzardo that Joe was not ready. 2-0.
And there you are again. You're in a nice count, 2-0, looking for the heat, wanting to get the bat head out, and then he pulls the string and throws the changeup.
Back inside with the fastball. And a walk. It's the second allowed by Luzardo. They have been really hit hard by injuries. The starters for the Marlins, Sandy Alcantara, the former Cy Young Award winner, out having undergone Tommy John surgery. Brian Reynolds struck out in the first. Skip Schumacher, National League Manager of the Year last year, leading the Marlins to an 84-78 record and to the postseason. One ball, one strike. Levin Furniture and Mattress strike zone.
Yeah, that's painted.
So Reynolds, who had 24 home runs last year, as you see, signed that long-term extension at the very beginning of last year. Going to play a lot of right field this season at PNC Park, and drives this one to left field. He put a charge into that one. Clear the deck, cannonball coming. And Brian Reynolds says, let's anchor down here in the third inning and tie the game at 2.
And going back to what we've talked so much about this spring, this lineup has power. And what power does for you is get you back into the game with one swing of the bat. You know, against a very tough lefty in Luzardo. But you get a walk, all you need to do is get one in the air, and Bryan Reynolds, boy, going up above the belt.
Well, it looked like Hayes was trying to call time, and I don't think that Guccione granted it. That should be ball one. Well, so Hayes stepped out, was giving up the pitch. Luzardo couldn't throw a strike, and it's 1-0. Hayes doubled in the first. Bryan Reynolds, the first home run of the 2024 season, comes in the third inning and ties it at 2. 107.5 miles an hour off the bat.
Here you'll see Hayes, he looks up. Luzardo's already started. So
it was ball one. Now it's 2-1. Change up 2-2. The Pirates led the major leagues in spring training homers. Luzardo gave up 22 of them last year in 179 innings. Shortstop Anderson. Another look at the home run by Bryan Reynolds.
You know, interesting. The fastball was only clocked at 94, and he went upstairs. But the combination of, I mean, again, these hitters are looking for that velocity, and Reynolds has always been a good high ball hitter. And it was pretty much middle. Again, probably the softest fastball, velocity-wise, that he's thrown. And Bryan Reynolds. It's a good start.
McCutchen drew a first inning walk. Strike 3, but Bryan Reynolds has tied it up at 2.
Boy, Mitch Keller, that last inning, the second, does a great job getting out of a jam. This is why. Watch the movement on these pitches. The cutter to the lefty, the sinker to the righty. Both these pitches start out down the middle. Runner third.
Infield is back. They will concede a run here. Berger at the plate. Berger hit that ground ball up the middle in the second inning after the Chisholm walk. Now they're looking for a strikeout here on swings and misses. Chisholm on base twice. And Jake Berger gives the Marlins the lead right back. One in, the throw from Reynolds is strong, but Chisholm will slide head first. It's a 2-run lead once again as Berger drives in De La Cruz and Chisholm.
And once again throws the slider and leaves it on the plate. It wasn't as middle as Berger's first at bat where he singled up the middle, but it was up enough and on that outer third of the plate. And he was able to stay on it and come up with a big hit. And as you see that, not many runners would have been sent home there from second with just one out. But Chisholm with that elite speed, worth the risk.
Berger 2 for 2. Sanchez hit a ball to the shortstop Cruz his first time. Keller, an all-star for the first time last year. Next Thursday, he'll turn 28 years old. Two-time winner of the Pirates Steve Blass Award for the best pitcher in the organization. Signed a 5-year, $77 million extension on February 23rd. Stabs it, and he's got the man caught between second and third. Hayes gonna run Berger back. Cruz will tag him.
Nicely done. A little comebacker. Berger going the wrong way. You want to see that by the pitcher if you're the base runner there at second base. Hayes does a nice job, get him going back towards the bag he was coming from. Easy flip, easy tag to Cruz.
And now taking off for second and a stolen base for Sanchez.
Now Henry Davis coming up. He thought maybe there was a little interference with Tim Anderson. Comes up to fire, and with the follow through, tiny piece of Anderson, but there's nothing you could do there as a hitter. He just took a swing and stood there, so no need for a batter to get out of the way from a catcher trying to throw out a runner.
First at bat as a Marlin. Tim Anderson had an opposite field RBI double. champion in 2019 when he led the majors, hit .335. Keller gives up a pair, and the Marlins regain the lead. As Chisholm and the Marlins scoring 2 times in that bottom of the 3rd inning. Chisholm doubled and scored on the 2-run single by Jake Berger. So Jesus Luzardo has the lead once again. He faces Henry Davis. Line foul. Davis in a soft liner to third base, ending the 1st inning. It's Davis, O'Neill Cruz, Jared Triolo. Pops it up. It's Chisholm.
Just caught a little deep, Henry.
Cruz bounced to second in the 2nd inning.
Cruz got some new shoes.
Look at Spiffy.
Fancy.
Did you hear Jack Wilson, by the way, on our air toward the end of spring training? We had him in the booth for a couple of innings. We're asking him about, talking about Jack Wilson, the outstanding Pirate all-star shortstop. Was in camp for about a week helping big leaguers and some of the minor league players. But we asked him about a 6'7" shortstop and how he thought Cruz played that position. He said, well, I think he's graceful, I think he's acrobatic, I think he's got good movement, and he said, and look at his feet. They're not terribly long and big. And he said they're kind of average sized feet for a tall man. And he said, you know, he can stay nimble.
Huh, never thought of that.
But Luzardo strikes him out, and that is 6 strikeouts for the lefty, Jesus Luzardo.
And again, the respect for the fastball gets chases like that. Because hitters don't like to get beat by the fastball. Their timing is always usually starts with catching up to the fastball. So you're up there geared up for it. And when he throws a breaking ball or changeup, he's getting a lot of chase on it because they're anticipating the pitch arriving much quicker. Pull the trigger sooner.
Triolo, one of those 6 strikeouts. Near to right. That's Jesus Sanchez. It's 1-2-3 for Jesus Luzardo in the 4th. Tonight, the Penguins face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and we'll have it for you right here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh, starting at 7 o'clock or whenever this game ends. And don't forget, you'll also be able to switch over to Sportsnet Pittsburgh Plus to watch the Pirates postgame with Rob King, Michael McHenry, and Stephen Broll. The big 3. Mitch Keller.
Wondering if I'm going to guess O'Neill Cruz broke Rowdy Tellez his mitt. He went to get a new mitt, and he only just can't help but think that it was O'Neill Cruz who did it. So they were waiting for the backup mitt to arrive.
We talked to Tellez a couple of weeks ago about those throws from Cruz. He said, "There's no way to explain it. How hard those throws are."
And you know, you would think maybe
With
after
movement, by the way,
after a strikeout, the throws might be even harder.
Yeah.
In between innings.
Yeah.
A little frustration.
That's true. Nick Gordon, Cruz, and Rowdy Tellez. No swing, according to Ryan Addison. Nick Gordon is the son of the former big league closer, Tom Flash Gordon, the brother of D. Strange Gordon. Did he go this time? Yes. And that's number 3 for Keller, and back-to-back punch-outs.
He's been going to that sweeper, and we talked about the problems that righties have against it. Lefties too, as that ball just disappears. Looking at that pitch from last year, of all the pitchers, Mitch Keller has the highest spin rate on that sweeper than anybody else's, any other pitch from anybody else.
Triolo throws out Ortiz. So a lot of movement then, huh?
Yeah, I suppose. I mean, the higher the spin rate, the more the break. Approaches 2,800 revolutions per minute.
Keller gets a gracious call there. On the right field line and foul.
I was going to say, how do you keep that fair? That's a tough one to keep fair. But if anybody could do it, it's this guy. Cutter that's off the plate in. Almost impossible to keep fair. And even Ortiz is out in front once again. Pretty amazing what he's done, huh?
Oh, and first of all, he's the batting champion of the National League, first player to win back-to-back batting titles, 2 different leagues. Hit .354 last year. That's a new single season mark for the Marlins. He struck out only 34 times last year. He walked only 35 times as Hayes makes the fine catch over by that high netting. Brian Hayes, and 1, 2, 3. Go the Marlins. We're going to head to the 5th inning.
Rowdy Tellez hitting leadoffs for the Pittsburgh Pirates right now, and he's been in the big leagues since 2018, but he's new to the Pittsburgh Pirates. But it did not take long for everyone to figure out his big personality that led him to be voted one of the top 5 friendliest infielders in Major League Baseball. But part of that personality is making sure that when he has something to say, he isn't beating around the bush. Second baseman Jared Triolo told me that having Rowdy's outward and outspoken personality has been really nice for him, because as he was trying to learn new positions, Rowdy would tell him directly if he did not like something instead of just sweeping it under the rug. Triolo also said it's the criticism that helped him learn quicker. So, Rock, do you have any guys that you've played with that come to mind when you think of the bold personality like Rowdy Tellez?
Oh, yeah, that's a good one. I can go back to the early 90s with the Pirates first arriving here with those playoff teams, and you were policed by everybody. It didn't matter, young, old, what position. It was done a little differently. It wasn't like being called out, but you were ripped on in a way in front of everybody else, shamed by everybody. You know, a good guy to give props to would be here in Miami in '97. The Marlins brought in Darren Dalton, who was a veteran, lifelong Philly, was finishing up his career, and that was a veteran team. I mean, a lot of different people. And he wasn't here a week, and he addressed things after a loss one night, and Yeah, it was colorful, and man, the respect that he got, and the change in the attitude in that clubhouse after that was very impressive and gutsy. I thought, as that looks like it might have got him in the right knee, Michael A. Taylor, that foul ball. But to see a veteran just kind of put things in place with a club that had a lot of higher paid veterans, and it made a huge difference, I felt.
And we talked at the outset, John Wehner was on the Pirates the last time they opened a season here in Miami. That was 1996. And the next year, he joined Jim Leyland and those 97 Marlins. They went on to win the World Series. And after that year, they had one of the greatest fire sales in sports history. Wayne Huizinga, then the owner of the Marlins, got rid of all that high-priced talent. Said he was losing too much money despite the World Championship. 1-2 on Taylor.
Yeah, Darren Dalton said something along the lines of that. This is a country club. I didn't come here to join a country club. I came here to win a championship, and this is a country club. And I don't want to be here if it's a country club. Along those lines, it was more candid, of course.
Sure.
But it certainly struck home with just about everybody.
The late Darren Dalton.
Another one got off his leg, this time hopefully the shin guard. Able to walk it off.
Seven strikeouts for Luzardo. Make it 8. He's got Taylor twice.
Again, he's trying to get the bat head out against the fastball. It's the changeup, and he's out in front.
Joe drew that one-out walk in the third, preceding the Reynolds homer. He's in the hole 0-2 now. Should be easy for a rise, and it is. Second straight 1-2-3 inning for Luzardo. Sportsnet Pittsburgh app on your iOS or Android device to watch live Pirates games on the go at no extra cost. Just download the app and log in with your TV provider to get started today. Josh Bell 2 for 2.
And now 6 for 7 off Mitch Keller.
Both opposite field hits for Bell. Keller's allowed the 4 runs on 6 hits. One of those runs unearned. Bell now 31 years old. Close 3-1. Came up to the big leagues in 2016.
Tried the sweeper. I don't know if he was just trying to throw it in there for a strike, but Josh Bell was expecting fastball.
Draws the walk. George Soriano loosening in the bullpen. So apparently Jesus Luzardo is done for 5 strong. Second walk for Keller. Started talking to Mel Stottlemyre Jr., the pitching coach. Doesn't feel good about that one.
Yeah, he is. If he stays healthy and continues to throw the ball the way he did last year and again here today, he'll end up with more than 10 wins. It's kind of amazing he only had 10 wins last year. 10-10 record.
Spanked to left. Two on, nobody out for Chisholm. Well, the Marlins have had activity in 4 of the 5 innings. It's the second time they've had their first 2 men on in a frame. Chisholm walked to start the second, and then Jake Berger followed with a hit. Last time up, Chisholm doubled.
That was a changeup. Haven't seen many, if any, of those today from Mitch. Perfect location.
Over to right field. Bell will tag at second and move up. Connor Joe gets it in. Bell at third, De La Cruz still at first, and Jake Berger, who's 2 for 2.
Both hits coming on breaking balls that were left up out over the plate. Wouldn't be surprised to see him go with that 2-seamer in on him. See if he can get a grounder at third. It gets a call there just off the edge. That was the 2-seamer. Well, maybe catching just a small piece.
Levin Furniture Mattress strike zone.
I would guess now 0-2. If he ever goes back to that sweeper, it won't be in his zone. There you see kind of a backdoor two-seamer. Started it off, kind of give up on it as a right-handed batter, and then it tails back and catches that outside edge.
Shook off what Davis suggested initially. Now nods.
No, he left it up again.
Taylor into center. Catch made. Bell will score. 5-2 Marlins.
Yeah, I mean, Jake Berger has gotten some pitches to hit behind in the count, and that wasn't the sweeper. That was the cut fastball that caught too much plate. You know, Mitch Keller would love to get the strikeout there, and ended up leaving a pitch on the plate. 0-2. And to Berger's credit, I mean, he's not missing it.
Another ground ball knocked down by Triolo, and still time to get Jesus Sanchez, who's put the ball on the ground 3 times. Another run in and a 3-run lead for the Fish. Up by 3 here, going to the 6th inning. Pirates come to bat in Miami. Brian Reynolds hit a 2-run homer that tied it in the 3rd. StatCast powered by 3D Google Cloud. 2-run homer, the exit velo, and the 406-foot home run that tied it. StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud.
No doubter. And it's funny because after the contact, it sounded and looked good. We've seen plenty of homers and kind of know when they hit the bat, come off the bat. I a lot of times look at the batter to see his reaction, and he kind of got out of the box a little quicker than I expected for a guy that hit one that hard. It's like, oh, maybe he didn't think he got it. But 107 off the bat's pretty impressive. That's usually gone when you get it in the air.
George Soriano out in front 0-2 of Reynolds. Now batting left-handed. rookie last year. Soriano to 3.81 ERA. 26 outings.
Exactly 1 strikeout per innings pitched. Four-seam fastball, a slider, and a changeup.
Tough pitch to take.
Yeah, that's very close, but just a tad low.
Oh, heck of an at bat to start things off here against the reliever. Keller watching, hoping the offense can score. This is his reaction after that last half inning.
Yeah, I think probably upset about the 0-2 pitch to Berger. He's missed a few times with him, and Berger has taken advantage.
Two-0. Luzardo delivers 85 pitches and throws 51 for strikes. Mel Stottlemyre Jr., the pitching coach, not liking what he's seeing. After the leadoff walk and a 2-0 count now on Hayes.
Hey, you got a 3-run lead. What you don't want to see is free passes. I'm sure that's part of the message. Let's be in the zone. Let's work ahead in the count. Let's make them earn it. Hopefully he throws some pitches down the middle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let the guys start driving the ball. Hitting their way back into this.
Two balls, no strikes on Hayes. Not down the middle, but catches the inside corner.
You don't see Brian Hayes swing through many fastballs. This one top of the zone.
Off the end of the bat, dropping, and it will drop in for a base hit. 2 aboard with nobody out.
That's really good hitting right there. I mean, that's his go-to pitch, that slider. Another high spin rate pitch, and you know, once he gets back in the count 2-2, he wants to bury it and hopes to get a chase. But Brian Hayes, we talk about it all the time, how good he is at going the other way, and especially with the fastball, that keeps you on that pitch, that slider. And he recognized it, kept the hands back, hit a little off the end of the bat.
Hutchin has walked and struck out. Hayes 2 for 3. Reynolds on base for a second time. Hutchin hit his 400th career double against the Marlins last year. Again, he's sitting on 299 career home runs. Doesn't want to talk about it. Doesn't want to think about it. When it happens, it happens. balls, 1 strike. 10 or more homers for the 15th time in his career last year. Three and one.
You're in a pretty good spot right here. If you're Andrew McCutchen, I don't know if Soriano has enough confidence to try to throw anything off speed in there. 3-1. And Andrew McCutchen, a great fastball hitter, should get one here. Oh, he did go to the breaking ball. Wow.
Here's that double talked about. Andrew McCutchen. Last year here, wasn't sure. Down the line and right.
Went to it again.
Wow.
How about that? I mean, that's pretty impressive. After falling behind 3-1, as a hitter, you're feeling like you're in a good hitter's count. 3-1, you're certainly going to get a good pitch to hit. Nope, you got a slider, and at 3-2, another slider perfectly placed.
H.N. Super Bowl. Big strikeout for Soriano. Now faces Henry Davis. George Soriano against Henry Davis, who was 0-2 against starter Jesus Luzardo, the lefty. Luzardo struck out 8. Two and one.
That was not the slider. He went with a change up there, a right on right change up. Good take.
And if this inning continues, Skip Schumacher is not going to let Neil Cruz face a righty. Andrew Nardi, a lefty, loosens in their bullpen. Chopper.
Well,
Davis hustling down the line, and he is going to reach first base. The bases are loaded. An infield hit for Henry Davis.
Couldn't have placed it any better. Couldn't have rolled it out there any better than that. And just the importance of putting the ball in play sometimes. You know, facing a guy with a really good breaking ball. Put it in play and run hard.
He doesn't. He's not looking anywhere but straight ahead.
Yep. That ball squirted away a little bit. Brian Reynolds takes a look, but you're not going to risk one out scoring there.
Lefty coming on to face O'Neal Cruz. Andrew Nardi against O'Neill Cruz with the bases loaded, one out. Cruz grounded out, struck out against the lefty starter. Nardi limited left-handed hitters to a 158 average last year. Righties hit 244. Lefty hitters did hit 3 home runs off of him last season.
He throws a lot of fastballs, so facing this lefty, you got to respect the fastball because he's firm. That was at 95. He throws it a good bit of the time, over 60%. Late there was O'Neill on the slider, so pretty good numbers. 63 games, 57 in the third innings, 73 punch outs. Opponents hit just 213.
Got him looking. That's just the outside corner, and now it's Jared Triolo.
Painted it.
Strike out a fly out to right. Triolo hit 3 homers in 298 in 54 games last year. Checks. No swing. Two and one. Triolo hit 293 off lefty pitching last year. 301 against righties. Two and two. Reynolds walked to start this inning against George Soriano. And Hayes singled after McCutcheon struck out Davis, the infield hit. Nardi just struck out Cruz looking. 2 strikes on Triolo. And now 3 and 2.
Now what are you going to do? He's thrown him a bunch of those sliders trying to get him to chase. And that fastball, again, it gets on you a little bit. Pretty good velocity. If you try to throw a breaking ball here, it's breaking into the right-handed bat.
That's him looking.
Yeah, came right at him with the four-seamer. Perfectly located.
Pirates baseball is brought to you by Highmark, the official health plan of the Pirates, because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield. And by Levin Furniture and Mattress, Pittsburgh's #1 furniture and mattress store. Here in Miami, game 1 of the opening to the 2024 season, one of a 4-game series. Marlins up 5-2, and back out there, Mitch Keller here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Tim Anderson. That's one of the 7 hits. It's an RBI double in the 2nd. Keller has struck out 3, including Anderson in the 3rd inning. A couple of leadoff walks have hurt Keller in this one. Chisholm in the 2nd, Bell in the 5th, both scored.
A couple of plays also defensively, and one by him.
One bad throw that eluded the opportunity to turn a double play. Brian De La Cruz hit one back to him, and then the ball dropped by Triolo.
And, you know, we'll talk about how good this defense is a bunch this year. I mean, it's going to be a very good defensive ball club. And you know, a couple of plays that could have been made, could have changed those 2 innings, both the 2nd and the 3rd, where they've scored 4 of their 5 runs.
Michael Taylor. Gold Glover in 2021. Taylor. Of course, Brian Hayes won the first of how many in his career? Arguably the best defender at any position in all of Major League Baseball.
And he will win more.
Seen many of those from Keller. It's just slipping out of his hand. I think Gordon has hit a soft liner to 3rd and struck out. And there's Triolo quickly to his right.
Great anticipation, great jump, great angles. Jump. Triolo.
It was great, John, for us to be able to mic him up at the end of spring training. It was great for us, not so great for him. That was disconcerting for him, but he was kind enough to do it. But we could hear pitch comm in his underneath his cap.
Huh.
And talk about how much that helps, of course, to anticipate. Ooh, Nick Cortez gets it. Catcher.
Was that a fastball?
90 miles an hour.
Yeah, I guess a 2-seamer. Boy, you don't see that very often, right in the middle of the bat.
Josh Fleming, a lefty, loosening in the Pirates bullpen, and Eric Shelton is going to go to him to face the lefty hitting Luis Arraez. Not able to complete 6. He was hoping to do that after getting the first 2 quick outs in the bottom of the 6th inning. But he hits Nick Fortes. And now it is Josh Fleming making his Pirates debut.
23-12 games, 3 starts, 2-0 record, 4.70 the ERA, 51 innings, just 25 strikeouts. A ground ball specialist, gets a lot of balls on the ground. And another one here.
Yeah, right away. Tellez on to Fleming. 1 pitch, 1 out for Josh Fleming in his Pirates debut. Opening day in Miami, Pirates and Marlins, first of 4-game opening series. The Marlins lead it 5-2. Josh Fleming got that 1 pitch, 1 out, and Mitch Keller goes 5 2/3, gives up 5 for earned. Edward Olivares is going to pinch hit for Rowdy Tellez against the lefty Andrew Nardi. A new rule this year in baseball: you warm up between innings, you've got to face this hitter. So previously, when, in this case, Derek Shelton would have announced a right-handed pinch hitter, the manager, the opposing team, Skip Schumacher, could have gone to the mound and brought in a right-hander. They've added that rule this year. Now Olivares gets his first Pirate at bat, acquired over the winter from the Royals. Skip Schumacher, rookie skipper last year, and the National League Manager of the Year. Olivares, fly ball to center field, hit pretty deep. Chisholm back to the wall, and how about it? Clear the deck. Cannonball coming his first Pirate at bat. A pinch hit home run for Edward Olivares, and it's 5-3. Bucks within 2.
Boy, that's big. Again, we talked about it when Reynolds went deep back in the 3rd. Instant offense. Olivares, he has pop. Shows it here. First at bat. That's no cheapie out there either. That's a long way. Fastball, middle in. Crushed it.
Pinch hit home run. Edward Olivares, his first Pirate at bat. Another look. Hit a dozen homers last year for the Royals. 350 at bats. Michael A. Taylor lifts one foul out of play. Bit of a delay. Chisholm retrieving ball.
What that crap.
Yeah. struck out both times against the starter Luzardo. Down to center field, a base hit. Comes down in front of Chisholm. That looks like it'll be it for Nardi as Connor Joe steps to the plate. We'll see if Jack Sawinski doesn't end up at some point in this game. We'll see who Schumacher decides to bring into this ball game. Andrew Nardi is going to be lifted. Michael A. Taylor's first hit as a Bucco. We have here Anna Mears with the Miami Chicken.
His name is Pepito, Greg. They have infiltrated over here where all of the media is standing. We've got a ton of the mascots over here. I don't have a ton of space, but they're keeping things fun over here for me. They're a little smelly and sweaty, though. Sorry, Pepito. He does smell a bit. That's okay. It's
good.
Miami.
It's good to be honest with him. Connor Joe fouls the pitch off. Anthony Bender, runner at first, nobody out. Pirates within 2. The pinch hit home run by Olivares.
Big arm Bender, 96, 97 with a little movement to that last fastball.
Joe leading off against the lefty Jesus Luzardo in the starting lineup. Anthony Bender. Fly ball to center. Oh, a diving catch made by Chisholm. Looked like that ball was 2 balls, 1 strike on Connor Joe. Three home runs for the Pirates in this one. And ball 3. Last time Pirates team hit 4 home runs on opening day. Got to go back to 1983. Lee Mazzilli, Lee Lacy, Jason Thompson, Dale Berra. It's an all-time record for opening day. That 83 quartet. And there's ball 4, matched opening day in 1975 when Willie Stargell hit 2. Richie Hebner and Nettie Sanguillen also homered.
Really good numbers. Look at the strikeouts, 104 in just 78 innings, 2.31 ERA, 9 wins in relief. Opponents hitting just 191 against them.
Brian Reynolds has had a good opening day. After striking out of the first inning, he homered in the 3rd with a man aboard, walked to lead off the 6th, doubled in the 7th. Could not hold. One and 2. Started his day as a righty hitter against the lefty starter Jesus Luzardo.
It's so hard and so sharp, that breaking ball. Starts in, breaks out. Looks like a strike as it's coming in, and it just disappears towards that back foot.
Oh, 97 low to Brian Hayes. Excellent day for him. On base 3 times. Double, a single, a walk. Three balls, no strikes. Andrew McCutchen awaits on deck.
Key Bryan doesn't seem to type swing 3-0. I don't know. I don't remember him seeing it, I should say. But he comes in there with another fastball, 3-1. We see Key Bryan go the other way. There's a huge hole on that right side. Nope, went with the missed down low.
2 men on base with nobody out. The tie game in the 9th inning. And here's Andrew McCutchen. McCutchen picked up an RBI in the 7th inning with a ground out. 1 out, 2 on. Ball 1 strike. Henry Davis on deck. Connor Joe is in scoring position. McCutchen can deliver. 2-1.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, with his stuff, it's bizarre to see him pitching so carefully. Nice block. That's textbook there. Get the glove down. Lean over that ball as it's bouncing in there. Keep it in front.
Two.
Boy, just catching that corner.
And oh man, there have been some close pitches here.
The backdoor slider, top of the zone. It was in the strike zone. And right on that borderline area, up and away.
Struck out looking.
And then that one's down and out of the zone. And again, very careful with the way he goes and attacks. He gets a swing and miss, then the slider that just misses off in the dirt with yet another slider. Fastball barely catches the edge. Doesn't get a call on the backdoor slider, but gets the call on the slider below the zone.
Henry Davis takes strike one. Fourteen Pirates have struck out. 0-2 count on Davis. Two and two.
"25 pitches at least here tonight."
3-2.
Wow. How close? Nah. Not that close. I don't think he's thrown him a fastball this at bat. And he's got 97, 98 in there. And you have to respect it. You have to anticipate it and adjust from there.
Line drive caught by the third baseman Berger.
Wow. That was absolutely hammered. Ouch.
So it looked like off the bat that ball that Henry Davis hit was going to be headed to the left field corner, but Jake Berger stabbed it. Here's another look.
Yeah, and I saw the great play from Brian Hayes going to his right. Here, Berger just getting over there in time, taking a couple steps to his left. That certainly would have been the go-ahead RBI base hit if it gets by.
And now it's Aroldis Chapman, 36-year-old veteran making his Pirates debut, signed a one-year free agent contract the end of January.
He's still really good. 103 punch outs, just 58 in the third innings. Opponents 175 batting average.
This is the top of the order, and the leadoff man, Luis Ortiz. .321 career saves. Of course, he's trying to get this to the 10th inning.
Wonder how many 0 for 5s Ortiz has had. 354. Were there 20? I bet there weren't 15 guys that hit 300 last year in either league.
Yeah, yep.
And he hit 354. Yep. He's that much better.
The new pitch comp. Bradley Haddad. So Aroldis Chapman, pitched with the Royals and Rangers last year. Fly ball to center. Michael A. Taylor. One out. Tonight, the Penguins face off against the Columbus Blue Jackets, and we'll have it for you right here on Sportsnet Pittsburgh, starting at 7 o'clock or whenever this game ends. And don't forget, you'll also be able to switch over to Sportsnet Pittsburgh Plus to watch the Pirates postgame with Rob King, Michael McHenry, and Stephen Brault. Josh Bell has been on base each of his 4 times to the plate.
Still has that. Triple digits. Josh Bell didn't agree. Says it was in a little bit.
Now 0-2. What does Chapman throw here? That slider might be just the ticket. Maybe get a swing and a miss. And he strikes out Josh Bell. 2 down. Brings up Brian De La Cruz.
That was the slider. Or was it? Slider? Yeah, that's slider.
Might have been the splitter.
That's what I'm thinking. I don't know. Hard to tell.
Big cut. Well, if it goes to the 10th, Declan Cronin will pitch for the Marlins. By the way, your question, Luis Ortiz went 0 for 5 or worse only 3 times last season. 2 outs, nobody on. Ground ball, Triolo over. And a nice debut for Aroldis Chapman in that black and gold. We're going extras on opening day. Extra innings, top of the 10th, and look who's leading off for the Pirates. Of course, we'll have Henry Davis at second base, the last out in the previous inning. There's a look at that home run. Leading off the 8th inning, and that tied the game.
Usually when you get to the late innings, as a pitcher, the old school thought was, he's going to beat you with a homer, make him beat you the other way.
Yeah,
and so they threw it out there, and he let him, and he beat him the other way. As Cronin in 9 ERA and 9 appearances last year. Yeah, they say don't let him pull it out of the ballpark. If he's going to beat you with a homer, make sure it's the other way. That's exactly what he does. Davis at second.
Two balls, no strikes. Declan Cronin was picked up off waivers from the Astros a couple weeks ago.
Sinker slider guy. Old school sinker slider. Lots of sliders. Oh, pitch a little low, gets the call. That's a 6-7 batter. You see that late sink just below the knees.
Grounded, foul.
Looked like there was some intent there from Cruz. Gets the ball to the right side, at least move that runner up 90 feet. One-run games, and you do the little things, and we've heard Pirates talk about that a lot. Andrew McCutcheon, Brian Hayes talking about we still got to do the little things. Yeah, we're hitting the ball at the ballpark. We got to do the little things.
Strikes out looking. Declan Cronin, his first appearance as a Marlin. Strikes out O'Neill Cruz.
Yeah, that little movement, it looks like it's a ball in, and then it just comes back and catches that corner. That's a perfect pitch.
Claimed off waivers from the Astros on February the 7th. And a bouncing ball, and Berger makes a nice play, backing up on it, throws, and Josh Bell can't make the pick. So Henry Davis is going to try to score. Here comes the throw from Bell, and now they're going to get Davis. Davis tried to score once it got past Bell, and 2 outs.
Well, Partia says it's worth the risk. It's worth the risk. We know Josh Bell has had problems throwing the ball. The grounder to third, Henry Davis had to hold up, first of all, if you're wondering why he didn't score easily. He had to see the ball thrown. He kind of retreated a little bit to second. So after the throwing error, he's at third easily. So he comes around third. Did not see what third base coach Mike Rebello did. I don't know. Yeah, he was waving him. And again, understandably so. Josh Bell, it's no secret, has had problems throwing the baseball, but he got off a good throw there. And he had plenty of time to retire Henry Davis.
Watch it again.
So Berger retreats, as does Davis. The throw gets by Josh Bell. He's kind of nonchalant after it. Rebello said, why not? And his thought process there is, can he throw it? Can he make an accurate throw? And he did.
Berger gets charged with the error to allow Davis to go to third, but a 3-2-6 put out of Henry Davis. Triolo at second. They intentionally walked Jack Sawinski. Mel Stoudemire out to talk to Declan Cronin about how to pitch to Michael A. Taylor, who had his first Pirate hit in the 7th inning. And a bouncing ball again to Berger, and this time, the final out is at third base. A wild top of the 10th. Pirates have to hope for 11 innings. It is still 5-5. Henry Davis, the runner at second. One out, that ball bounced off the bat of Jared Triolo to Jake Berger, who threw the ball past Josh Bell. Bell eventually recovered and threw out Henry Davis. They're going to intentionally walk Jazz Chisholm Jr. with Brian De La Cruz, the automatic runner at second. And the pitcher is Luis Ortiz.
Ortiz, 15 starts, 5-5, a 4.78 ERA. Opponents hit 288.
One of his better starts for Luis Ortiz was right here in Miami, June 23rd last year, when 8 innings gave up a run on 7 hits. Here's Jake Berger, doesn't figure to be bunting. So the intentional walk makes all the sense in the world, and a double play ball. There's one. Oh man, Connor Joe, a heck of a play on the throw from O'Neill Cruz that almost sailed into the Stands.
My goodness.
What
was
a
that
play by Connor Joe.
Ever a great play. Because you're talking about, you're anticipating this throw being on the money. Nice little feed by Triolo to Cruz. Now Cruz, he lets his go. He's only 85 feet away, and he throws 95 plus. And what a great job, because that's a quick reaction. You don't have that much time over there when a guy's throwing that hard.
Viseo Garcia.
Look at that, 99.
Wow.
For Ortiz.
Had been missing a bunch last year. Oh, and 1. Oh, the block there by Henry Davis.
That's textbook right there. Yep.
He loves it.
Get the glove down.
Saved a run.
Get the chest in front.
Kept the game tied.
And made it look easy.
Yep. Lifted out of play.
And we talked about it a lot during spring training. We really haven't talked about it at all today. And you think it would have been a story.
Yeah.
But he has been so good back there. It's not a story. It's not worth talking about.
Yeah.
Henry Davis's defense. He's a catcher.
Chop toward Hayes. Going to wait for that last top. And that'll do it. And Connor Joe, who kept this game tied, will lead off for the Pirates in the 11th inning. Connor Joe, who started for the Pirates in right field against the lefty Jesus Luzardo, moved to first base later in the game. Now, is he up there to bunt Michael A. Taylor to third? Ball 1. Oftentimes you see that with visiting teams. Can't just play for one run. Rare that you do sacrifice like that on the road.
Oh, what
shot
a job.
That's going to be the job done for Connor Joe. What a baseball player he is.
That's a baseball player right there. And you know, you're not so much giving yourself up, but you're just trying to hit something that way. Doesn't mean you can't get a base hit. See him pull those hands in. 90 feet away.
HN Supermo look. Now the infield comes in for Brian Reynolds.
Oh, he'd like to have that one back. Little hanging slider. They know he throws a lot of sliders. More than 50% of the time, it's a slider.
And he's out in front. 0-2. The rookie Declan Cronin. 9 games for the White Sox last year. Chop toward first, and Josh Bell gonna do it again.
Wow.
Josh Bell, we talked about it before. If you watched the Pirates over the years, or when he went to DC, anywhere, trouble with the throw. Now, are they going to talk about the blocking rule? But with the infield in, that changes. Derek Shelton going to ask them to talk about it. Is there going to be a challenge? Chris Guccione going to the mic. Well, couldn't hear it. Can't think of any other challenge other than the Buster Posey rule, but that rule changes with the infield in.
Yep, and you know, obviously the throw takes him right there.
He's way out blocking the plate,
right,
way before the throw.
Exactly. So, you know, you take the throw takes you in front of the plate. You got the ball well before the runners in that area.
Again, that rule changes with the infield in because of the speed of the play. Now that was a slow developing chopper with the infield in. So much so that the catcher Fortes took his time to get out of his stance behind the plate.
Bell falling down after the throw. Now this wasn't a case where you're questioning whether Josh Bell can make that play. This is a predetermined play on you're going on contact from third. You know, Derek Shelton.
Here we go. So he's out.
Since Derek Shelton's been here, I mean, almost always does he have the contact play on when you have a runner on third with 1 out. So, especially when you have the speed of Michael A. Taylor, that was a no-brainer.
Really, the surprising thing to Bell's credit is he's thrown, without disrespecting him, he's thrown 2 strikes to the plate.
Exactly.
Brian Reynolds still at first base. A strike on Hayes. Well, the Pirates have 2 runners thrown out at the plate in the last 2 innings. Hayes on base 4 times. 5 trips to the plate. Double, single, pair of walks. And a 2-2 count.
Yeah, got a couple of fastballs in the zone. Keith Ryan swung through today.
Plays off.
Oh.
No, he didn't. I'll go to the bottom of the 11th. Still tied. 12th. Luis Ortiz back out there. Icio Garcia will be the automatic runner at second. Tim Anderson could be asked to bunt. Makes more sense, of course, in the home half of extra innings. But he's swinging away, a former batting champ.
Yeah, there was zero interest in trying to hit that ball the other way. Not on that pitch. That pitch and swing. It was pretty obvious.
Luis Ortiz, after they intentionally walked Jazz Chisholm. To put 2 on, nobody out in the bottom of the 10th. Jake Berger to put the ball on the ground, double play, great play by Connor Joe, and then Garcia grounded out. Tim Anderson would love to win it in his first game as a Marlin. He's going to get the guy to third.
Well, he made an adjustment after taking the big cut. He shut it down and thought, I'm going to get him over.
That winning run 90 feet away, and now the Pirates infield will come in. Vidal Brujan. Pinch hit in the 8th inning against the lefty Baraki and struck out. Now turns around to bat left-handed, and he'll be walked intentionally. Nick Fortes will be called back. Looks like Jonah Bride, who officially made the club officially today. They made a trade last night, three-way deal, the Yankees, Tampa Bay Rays, and the Marlins. Traded utility man John Birdie to the Yankees last night. And Derek Shelton going to go out and talk strategy. So Jose Hernandez, the lefty, he made the club today because Roansy Contreras was placed on paternity list. So Jose Hernandez was ticketed for AAA Indianapolis, but is on the club. But the lefty not needed just yet. Right now it is the pinch hitter Jonah Bride to bat for Nick Fortes.
Infield kind of halfway, not all the way in.
Strike one.
If something's hit firm enough towards the middle, turn 2.
Ground ball, Hayes. There's one.
Wow.
There's 2. And a fired up Luis Ortiz. The double play around the horn. It's going 12 in Miami. What an opening day. top of the 12th inning here in Miami, opening day. Brian Hayes made the last out of the 11th. He is now at second. Andrew McCutchen to the plate. The new catcher, Christian Betancourt, for the Marlins. McCutchen struck out 3 times. He's 0 for 4 with a walk and an RBI ground out. Facing the rookie Declan Cronin, his 3rd inning of work. Last opening day extra inning contest for the Pirates. 6 years ago they went 13.
Detroit?
2018 they were in, I believe, Detroit. The most recent extra inning games there on opening day for the Pirates listed. Check, strike. Wow. McCutchen goes down swinging, and there's that double play turn.
We're in this 12th, and you predetermine before the ball's hit. If it takes me to my left, I'm turning 2. And with Brian Hayes, that ball takes him to his left. All the momentum's going towards second. Triolo's there. Easy turn for him. Cronin again loves that slider use over 50% of the time.
Checks this time. By the way, it was indeed Detroit the last time the Pirates played an extra inning game on opening day. They won that game 13-10 on a Gregory Polanco homer, making a winner out of Steven Brault. Oh, pitched the last 3 innings of that game.
He didn't go 13.
Steven Brault will be on the post game with Michael McHenry and Rob King. 1-2, 2-2. S&P Plus, the place to watch Rob, Michael, and Steven in our post game. 2-2. Full count. Love to get Davis on because they wouldn't be able to walk O'Neill Cruz.
Yep. What's he going to throw? What are you going to see? Sinker or slider?
Line dropped. Oh, dropped, and Davis is out. Tim Anderson dropped the sinking liner and from his knees threw on to first base.
Well, Henry Davis now has had a couple of balls right on the button with the runner on second base. Top of the 9th, and here in the 12th.
Oh, Josh Bell tagging home plate. Tagging first base, rather. Now the intentional walk of O'Neill Cruz at home plate as Jared Triolo comes up with 2 on and 2 outs. What an outing for the rookie Declan Cronin. Triolo hitless in 5 trips, a couple of strikeouts, a couple of ground balls, and a fly out.
continues to throw that slider.
And into right center field, a base hit. Triolo delivers the throw to the plate, cut off. Bell's throw in the dirt. And now Triolo trying to get in a rundown. Cruz is going to be tagged out. The Pirates settle for one. Triolo delivers with 2 outs. A wild one in Miami. Well, Jared Triolo delivers with 2 outs to give the Pirates a 6-5 lead. O'Neill Cruz is thrown out. Here's the play again.
Man, he threw a little backup slider. He's been getting him to chase it off the end of the plate, off the outside part of the plate. This one just spins on the inside corner, and he just muscles it out there. Surprised they even threw the ball home, but because they did, Bell gets another assist, Josh Bell, because he cuts it off, gets it to the shortstop. They get Cruz in the rundown between third and home.
So the good news is the Pirates have the lead. The bad news is David Bednar is not healthy, obviously, because it's Jose Hernandez trying for his first major league save. A guy who wouldn't be on the club, was headed to AAA Indianapolis, but yesterday Roansy Contreras placed on the paternity list, and so it's up to Jose Hernandez, not David Bednar, to try and earn the save. Runner at second, nobody out. That runner at second base, the catcher Bethencourt, and the batting champ Luis Arraez at the plate.
The only other possibility, as you see David Bednar with the hoodie leaning against the wall.
And bounce past the mound. There's Cruz on the play. Runner moves to third. Unfortunately, Hernandez, the ball's past him before he has a chance.
You know, with David Bednar, this is, I think, another possibility. You know, didn't get a lot of work in spring training. Oh, I didn't notice down there, but there was a possibility he got hot in the 9th, possibility he got hot in the 10th, possibility he got hot in the 11th.
Well, while we weren't looking, I mean, maybe that's possible.
Because I'm sure if he was,
that's possible,
getting loose and they got him hot 3 times, that maybe they said we got to shut him down. We don't get him hot 4 times.
And we don't have the greatest view in the bullpen here, so it's possible he was getting loose those 3 innings. Now Josh Bell turns around to bat right-handed. Boy, has he had a productive day against his former club. Both at the plate and with the glove at first base. And the assists. One and two. Josh Bell. Infield is in. 1 and 2. Bounce to Hayes. On to first, 2 outs. And what a story this would be.
I would say so.
Jose Hernandez shows up in Miami because Roansy Contreras today goes on the paternity list. And now Hernandez 1 out away from his first major league save on opening day, and out comes Oscar Marin to talk things over.
Well, this has been quite the ball game, that's for sure. And that might be a first for me. Whereas a guy that gets sent down gets the save on opening day.
Yeah. Ryder Ryan is up in the bullpen. Ryan De La Cruz. Big cut. Of course, Jose Hernandez was a story last year. A Rule 5 guy. Taken off the Dodgers roster in December of 2022. Made 50 appearances out of the bullpen as a rookie. There's strike 2.
Right there, 94. Right at you.
Oh, and 2. Reaches out toward right, slicing foul. What a job by Luis Ortiz, by the way, pressed into duty.
I'd say
He's in line to get this W if Hernandez can get the final out. Another 0-2 and a fly ball to right, and raise the Jolly Roger and a wild one in Miami. The Battle Bucks raise it in extras, and Jose Hernandez earns his first major league save.
what a ball game. Pretty impressive stuff right there. The Pirates fall down early, and the long ball brought them back. First Brian Reynolds when they were down 2-0. And then you got the home run from Olivares to get you 1 run closer. O'Neal Cruz came up with the big homer to tie things in the top of the 8th. And then the bullpen just shut them down.
Without David Bednar.
Without David Bednar. 7 innings of shutout ball from this Pirates bullpen. And how about Jose Hernandez? You think he's a little fired up?
Yeah. And rightfully so.
What a ball game.
Henry Davis fired up along with Jose Hernandez. It started with Mitch Keller. He went 5 2/3, and then that bullpen John talked about. Josh Fleming, Hunter Stratton, Ryan Barucki, Aroldis Chapman, Luis Ortiz the winner, Jose Hernandez the save. The Pirates hit 3 homers. They battle back. They were down 5-2 going into the 7th inning. Let's go down to Hannah Mears.
Jared, to drive in the game-winning run in extra innings and your first ever Major League opening day, how storybook did this feel for you?
Yeah, it was kind of a long one up to that point at the plate for me, but you know, they always preach that, you know, you never know when your at-bat's coming, and you know, luckily it scored it over the infield, and we scored that run there and held them in the bottom half.
Yeah, it seemed like there were maybe some nerves early on, some frustrations here and there, but when did you really feel like you started to settle into this game?
Yeah, I mean, I think you could probably ask anybody. It probably took an inning or two for sure. I know it's awesome being out here and playing with these guys, and awesome to get a win on the first game.
Absolutely. Hey, let's talk about this bullpen really quick in extra innings, the way that they shut down the Marlins, specifically Jose Hernandez getting the late call to be here today. How impressed were you with their performance?
El Piri, he's awesome. It was good to see him in the clubhouse. I don't know if he expected to be in the game so soon, but he came in, he did his job. It was awesome. Chapman as well. Who else? Barucki and Ortiz. And yeah, I think that might be it.
I mean, there was a handful of them, and they all performed well. Whether it was a cruise missile out here or a Connor Joe defensive play on first to keep the Bucks going, what can you say about the way your team showed grit today?
Yeah, we got down early in the game, and I don't think anybody ever thought that we were going to lose. So just kind of that determination, you know, helped us, and then push the extras, and then win it there in extras.
Well, the Buccos kept battling. Congratulations, Tree. Appreciate your time. Greg?
All right, Hannah, thanks. And thanks to big Jared Triolo, who did deliver that 2-out base hit in the top of the 12th. Extra innings on opening day 2024, the first of 162. Wow. Jose Hernandez picks up the save. Luis Ortiz got the win. Well, you're going to need about an hour to talk about this one, and they'll use that on SNP Plus. You'll be able to hear Rob King, Michael McHenry, and Stephen Brault as the Pirates win it in 12, 6-5 in Miami.